Good morning, Carmel Catholic. I'm Liam Brown. It's 8:03. We'll start today with the boys basketball team who had a back-and-forth match versus Deerfield last night, going to overtime, but they were able to pull out the win. And later tonight, they'll play Mundelein at Mundelein, so go support them. The girls basketball team will have another game at Buffalo Grove tonight. They'll start at 6 o'clock. And the wrestling team will host a meet here today versus Ion and Antioch in the Salvi. They're going to start at 5 o'clock. And looking to some national sports, the Bears lost an absolute heartbreaker to the Lions, being up 12 with just under 4 minutes to go. But look ahead to Minnesota on Monday Night Football next week. And due to shortened Thanksgiving week, our schedule will be changed so all classes can meet either yesterday or today. Today you're going to have B period, Mass, E, then F, and you're going to get out at 1:56. CDN will be right back.
My hope for the season, try to be competitive. Every game in our conference is loaded. Bennett is probably the leader, and everything else is a coin toss. So we'll try to be competitive in a mix. Have a strong non-conference schedule. Try to be there every game. How can we improve the team from last year? I believe that we prepare better. Last year was first year, so we weren't sure we were going in. We were figuring out on the fly a lot. This year we had a summer that we felt like we prepared better. We spend more time on the things that we need more. So coming into the season, we had a good fall with a lot of lifts and open gyms. Boys played a lot of games in the fall leagues. So it felt like we prepared better this year. We know what's going on. We got 9 seniors. So there's a lot of continuity from last year. I really like what we have. We have more higher IQ basketball players. We have more people with experience. We have deeper bench. We have size. We have speed. So I'm excited. The first game of the season, official game, is on Monday at 5:30. We're playing at Mundelein in Thanksgiving tournament, and we are playing Deerfield. However, we have an open scrimmage tomorrow right after school. We'll go Brown versus Gold, and then JV gonna play sophomores, and then sophomores gonna play freshman A, and then freshman A playing freshman B. First home game of the season is November 28th, Tuesday, versus St. Viator. It's a rivalry, so it should be fun.
Carmel, I'm Andrew Smigo, and welcome to this week's edition of News of the College Football World, plus my top 6 teams, as well as my player predictions and conference title winners as well. 2023 college football season is down to its last final regular season week of action, and a lot of games will be headlining this week, including Michigan, Ohio State, and many others. But the ones that I think are the most interesting this week are the ones that come from the Pac-12, as this is their last regular season week together as a conference. They have a lot of good matchups in the conference, including in the Apple Cup, with Washington taking on Washington State, as well as in the Civil War with Oregon taking on Oregon State, the Rumble in the Rockies with Utah taking on Colorado, and the Territorial Cup with Arizona taking on Arizona State. Moving on now, my Power 5 Conference Championship predictions, as well as my college football playoff predictions. For the Big 12 Championship, I have Texas beating Oklahoma in a rematch in Dallas. For the ACC, I have Louisville beating Florida State in Charlotte. Both teams have already secured a spot in the game, and I believe that Louisville will win with or without Florida State's quarterback Jordan Travis, as they are an underrated team out to prove people wrong this season. For the Pac-12, I have Oregon beating Washington in another rematch in Las Vegas. Washington has already clinched a spot in the championship game, and I believe that Oregon will clinch it on Friday with a win in the Civil War as well. For the Big Ten, I have Ohio State beating Iowa. Iowa already clinched their spot last Saturday with a win over Illinois, and I believe that Ohio State will clinch it this Saturday when they beat Michigan. The SEC Championship, I have Georgia prevailing and beating Alabama. They both already clinched their divisions 2 weeks ago as well. Now I will talk about my New Year's 6 predictions, plus my college football playoff predictions as well. For the Orange Bowl, I have the ACC runner-ups, Florida State, who will finish with a record of 11-2, taking on the second-best Big Ten team, Michigan, with a record of 11-1. For the Cotton Bowl, I have the Big 12 champions, Texas, record of 12-1, taking on the third-best team in the SEC, Missouri, with a record of 10-2. For the Peach Bowl, I have the SEC runner-ups, Alabama, record of 11-2, taking on the Pac-12 runner-ups, Washington, with a record of 12-1. For the Fiesta Bowl, I have the best Group of 5 team, the American Athletic Conference champion, the Tulane Green Wave, taking on the third-best Big Ten team, the 10-2 Penn State Nittany Lions. Then for the playoffs, I have 1 seed Georgia taking on 4 seed Louisville in the Sugar Bowl, and then 2 seed Ohio State taking on 3 seed Oregon in the Rose Bowl. I have the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs beating number 4 Louisville, as well as the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes beating the number 3 Oregon Ducks. Then I have the Ohio State Buckeyes beating the Georgia Bulldogs in this year's national championship and getting revenge from the last year's playoff loss, as well as being the 2024 college football national champions. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you all later, Carmel.
Good morning, Carmel Catholic. I'm Gabby Malley, joined by Father Christian to discuss today's Mass. So, Father Christian, what are we celebrating?
Well, today we're celebrating the presentation of Mary, and I'm looking forward to joining our school community for this Mass day. And the presentation of Mary actually goes back to the 6th century for the Eastern churches and to the 16th century for the Roman Catholic Church. But it's an important feast to really think about Mary and her divine assignment. As tradition has it, when she was 3, her parents brought her to the temple to consecrate her to God. And also, speaking of Thanksgiving, which is what Mass is about, you know, we're about to go on Thanksgiving break, and I know we're all excited for that. And Eucharist means Thanksgiving, so how fitting that we come together to give thanks above all to God as for the many gifts and blessings we have received.
It's a beautiful message, Father Christian. All right, next up we have a couple announcements, and then we'll be done.
Good morning, I'm Kelly Hare with CDN News at 8. Thanksgiving is an annual national holiday in the United States and Canada that celebrates the harvest and blessings from the past year. Americans generally believe their Thanksgiving is modeled on the 1621 feast held by the Plymouth Pilgrims and Wampanoag people. The Plymouth Thanksgiving began with the colonists going out fowling, most likely for easier games such as geese and ducks, rather than turkeys. Eventually the Wampanoag arrived, bringing venison and probably more fowl, fish, shellfish, stews, vegetables, and beer. Because there being few buildings, most of the people sat outside on the ground or on barrels. Though the celebration was disorderly, it sealed the treaty between the two groups up until King Philip's War that happened from 1675 to 1676. New England colonists regularly celebrated Thanksgivings as days of prayer, thanking God for military victories or the ends of droughts. One such Thanksgiving was nationally proclaimed by the Continental Congress upon the enactment of the Constitution. Eventually in 1798, Congress left the declarations of Thanksgivings to the states due to objections and government involvement in religious observance, Southerners being slow to adopt New England customs, and because some people took offense that the days were being used to hold partisan speeches and parades, overall making the National Thanksgiving Day seem more like a cause of controversy rather than unity. Thanksgiving didn't become an official holiday until Sarah Josepha Hale won the support of President Abraham Lincoln in her campaign of making Thanksgiving a national day of promoting unity. During the Civil War on October 3, 1863, Lincoln proclaimed a national Thanksgiving would be held on Thursday, November 26th. Every president thereafter would proclaim Thanksgiving on the last Thursday in November, until Franklin D. Roosevelt moved Thanksgiving to the third week in November as an attempt to extend the Christmas shopping season to try and boost the economy. However, not all states complied, resulting in Roosevelt issuing a proclamation in 1942 designating the fourth Thursday in November as Thanksgiving. As Thanksgiving moved away from its strictly religious roots, it allowed immigrants of every background to join in the common tradition. The first Thanksgiving football game began with Yale versus Princeton in 1876. In 1924, the annual Macy's Day Parade in New York City continued Philadelphia's 1920 Gimbel's Department Store Parade. More traditions CDN learned about from students include celebrating with either neighbors and friends or family, taking naps after eating Thanksgiving food, eating a ton of food and enjoying the time spent with others, traveling, hosting Thanksgiving dinner, drawing names for Secret Santa, watching football and the Macy's Parade, watching Hallmark movies, making Belizean food, setting up a Thanksgiving lunch for the poor in the morning and then serving the food later, praying and then eating, cooking, talking, playing games, and singing or dancing together with family. For CDN News at 8, I'm Kelly O'Hara.
Thanks, Gabby. I chatted to all juniors. When we return from Thanksgiving break, there will be a college planning meeting for all juniors and their parents. Consult the newsletter for more information. If you have not donated to your advisory's Christmas collection, please remember to bring in money after break. And finally, CDN would like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. We here at CDN are very thankful for your support and hope you have a wonderful week. That's all we have for today. I'm Charles Reed. Have a thankful Tuesday, Carmel.
Be excited, you guys.
I